Imagine you are standing at the edge of everything, not the edge of a cliff, not the edge of an ocean, the edge of reality itself. Behind you, every star that has ever burned, every galaxy that has ever spun, every atom that has ever existed stretches out like a fading memory. But ahead of you, there is nothing, not darkness, not emptiness, nothing. No space, no time, no dimension for anything to exist in. And the moment you try to step forward, you don't die. You don't float. You simply stop being real. Scientists have found evidence that this boundary exists. And what terrifies them isn't what's on the other side. It's the possibility that the other side doesn't exist at all. Let's start with what we think we know. When you look up at the night sky, it feels infinite. It feels like the stars go on forever, like the universe is this endless canvas painted with light. There's something deeply comforting about that idea. An infinite universe means infinite possibilities. It means there's always more, always somewhere else, always something beyond. Astronomers spent centuries believing exactly this. The cosmos was eternal and borderless and stretched in every direction without limit. It was beautiful. It was safe. But something is wrong. In 1929, Edwin Hubble pointed a telescope at distant galaxies and noticed something that changed everything. They were moving away from us, all of them, in every direction. And the farther away they were, the faster they were fleeing. The universe wasn't sitting still, it was expanding. And if you rewind that expansion backward through time, everything collapses into a single point, a beginning. And if the universe had a beginning, if it started expanding from one moment, roughly 13.8 billion years ago, then it has only had a finite amount of time to grow, which means no matter how fast it expanded, it has a size, it has a limit, it has an edge. But here's the problem. That edge isn't like anything your brain can picture. When you imagine the edge of the universe, you probably see a wall, a barrier, maybe a glowing boundary floating in space with something strange and dark beyond it. But that's not how it works. The edge of the universe isn't a wall in space, it's the end of space. Beyond it, there are no coordinates, no up or down, no distance between 2 points because there are no points. The very fabric that allows things to exist simply isn't there. It's not that the other side is empty, it's that there is no other side. And the human brain, a machine that evolved to track predators across open grasslands, has absolutely no way to process this. You are built to understand edges that have two sides, a fence with a yard behind it, a wall with a room behind it. The edge of the universe breaks that programming completely. There is no behind it. And this is where things change, because the expansion of the universe isn't slowing down, it's speeding up. In 1998, two teams of astrophysicists studying distant supernovae made a discovery that won them the Nobel Prize and kept them awake at night. The universe isn't just growing, it's growing faster every second. Something is pushing it outward, something invisible and undetectable and overwhelmingly powerful. And we have given it a name: dark energy. It makes up roughly 68% of everything that exists, and we have no idea what it is. We can measure its effect, we can see it in the data, but we cannot explain it. The single most dominant force shaping the fate of the cosmos is a complete mystery. We are passengers inside something we cannot understand, and it is accelerating. But it gets worse. If dark energy continues doing what it's doing, and there is no reason to believe it won't, the universe won't just keep expanding. It will expand faster than light itself. That sounds impossible. Nothing can travel faster than light, right? But that rule only applies to objects moving through space. Space itself has no speed limit. The fabric of reality can stretch as fast as it wants, and it's already doing this. Right now, at this very moment, there are galaxies so far away from us that the space between us and them is expanding faster than their light can cross it. Their photons are running toward us at the maximum speed the universe allows, and they will never arrive. Those galaxies are gone, not destroyed, not dead, just permanently unreachable. They have crossed what scientists call the cosmic event horizon. They still exist, technically, but for us, for anything inside our observable bubble, they are erased. And the horizon is shrinking. Every second, more of the universe disappears beyond it. We are watching reality slowly delete itself from the outside in. But that's not even the worst part. Some physicists have proposed a scenario called the Big Rip. If dark energy isn't just constant, but actually growing stronger over time, then the expansion doesn't just push galaxies apart. Eventually, it overwhelms everything. First, galaxy clusters are torn apart. Then, individual galaxies are shredded, their stars flung into the void like sparks from a fire. Then, solar systems dissolve, planets are ripped from their orbits. Then, the planets themselves are torn apart. Then, molecules, then atoms. The fundamental forces that hold matter together, the forces that make you a solid object instead of a cloud of particles, simply cannot resist the stretching anymore. In the final moments, space expands so violently that every atom in existence is shredded into nothing. The universe doesn't die in fire. It doesn't die in ice. It's pulled apart at the seams, thread by thread, until even the threads don't exist. And here's what makes this truly horrifying. You wouldn't see it coming. The Big Rip wouldn't announce itself. Everything would look normal right up until the moment your planet disintegrated beneath your feet. The sky would look fine, the stars would shine, and then in a span of minutes, maybe less, everything would just come apart. The ground, the air, your body, your cells, your atoms, done. Not with a scream, but with a stretch. But let's say the Big Rip doesn't happen. Let's say dark energy stays constant, and the universe just keeps expanding steadily forever. That's the safe scenario, right? No. Because even in that version, you face something worse than destruction. You face isolation. As space keeps stretching, the distance between galaxy clusters grows until each one is completely alone in an ocean of void. Every other structure in the universe fades beyond the horizon. And within each cluster, stars burn through their fuel one by one. The last red dwarfs, tiny and dim and stubborn, will flicker for trillions of years before they finally go dark. After that, all that remains are dead stars, cooling slowly toward absolute zero. Black holes will linger longer, slowly evaporating through a process called Hawking radiation, but even they will vanish eventually. And then the universe is just a soup of stray particles drifting further and further apart in perfect darkness, at a temperature indistinguishable from nothing. No light, no heat, no structure, no possibility of anything ever happening again. Physicists call this heat death, and it is the most likely fate of everything that has ever existed. NASA's Wilkinson Microwave Anisotropy Probe mapped the oldest light in the universe, the cosmic microwave background, and what it found confirmed something unsettling. The geometry of the universe appears flat, not curved back on itself like a sphere, which might have meant the universe loops around and has no edge. Flat, which means it either goes on forever, which introduces a different kind of terror, or it has a boundary, an end, a place where the rules stop. The Planck satellite refined these measurements further, and the answer didn't change. The universe, as far as we can tell, is not built to comfort us. And there is something else, something that doesn't get talked about nearly enough. We can only see about 5% of what the universe is made of. Ordinary matter, stars, planets, people, everything you've ever touched or seen or loved. 5%. The rest is dark matter and dark energy, and we don't know what either of them are. We have built our entire understanding of reality on 5% of the evidence. That's like reading the first chapter of a 1,000-page book and claiming you know how it ends. We are not even close to understanding the thing we live inside. So here you are again, standing at that edge. And now you know what's behind you, a universe that is expanding faster than it should, governed by forces we cannot identify, heading toward a fate we cannot prevent, built from materials we cannot detect. And ahead of you, beyond the edge, there is no floor, no sky, no void, no darkness. There isn't even nothing, because nothing would still be something. There is just the absence of the question, the place where asking what's there has no meaning. The universe was never empty. It was never cold. It was never hostile. It was something far worse than all of those things. It was temporary. And the edge isn't a boundary keeping something out. It is a reminder that everything you have ever known, every civilization, every memory, every star, exists inside a bubble that is expanding into something that doesn't have a name. And one day, whether by ripping or by fading or by simply stretching into silence, that bubble will be gone. Not destroyed, not consumed, just finished. Like a breath that was held for 13.8 billion years and finally, quietly, let go.